Welcome in, everybody. This is Sportsify. I am your host, Matt Novak. Alongside me, as always, my co-host, Grant Hawker.
Always.
We are excited to get into the Week 8 breakdown that was the NFL this week. Man, I think we might have seen one of the coolest things ever to end a game. Certain plays are crazy memorable for franchises.
Yeah.
But we may have seen one of the best ones ever. We'll get to it in a minute.
Yep.
The Jekyll and Hyde nature of the NFL continues for the NFC West. The quarterback situations are getting messy all over the place. People getting benched, people getting hurt, other people replacing. But one thing doesn't change, dude. The Jets still suck at football.
Yeah. All is right in the world.
All new low for them. This isn't even in our rundown, but they lost to who this week?
The Patriots, who might have the number one pick, bro. That's how bad.
Gosh.
Like, are they at a point where they would rather have Zach Wilson? Their record is better. The record is better with Zach Wilson calling plays, taking snaps from the center, and Aaron Rodgers. I said it last week. He's washed, bro.
Bro, I think they could have let the Saleh train go a little longer. I think we called it on that being a little too quick. I don't want to dive into them, though, because we spend every week hating on the Jets. We really do.
Yeah. It is a gift that keeps on giving.
It never stops giving. By the way, I need to ask you, because I've been in a meeting for the last couple hours. Speaking of New York, did a thing happen?
No.
Did they win?
Wait, who is they? New York, did they win?
Yeah.
The Yankees won tonight. They had their own grand slam. I think it was Anthony Volpe. I think they won 11-4. So they actually ended up smoking.
Oh, crud. It was 3-0.
I know.
Dodgers.
It was 5-4 at some point. Yankees up by 1 in the 5th, I think. And I was keeping up on it. But yeah, they ended up being able to stretch it. So I think they'll return to Los Angeles for another game. I think that's how that works.
Forget those bums. By the time we're back here next week, Dodgers
there will be a victor.
Get the dub. And while I am not a big fan or anything of the Dodgers, I am a massive hater of those Yankees, so who cares? Yep. All right, let's get into some stuff that happened this week. We had a couple of trades, man.
Yeah.
One, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen at some point. Deontay Johnson from Carolina was going somewhere. That team is going nowhere, so he needed to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And we'd come up with, in our text message, we'd come up with some suitors. You actually had thrown out before this trade happened today, the possibility of the Niners after Ayuk going down and a lot of the injuries they've been dealing with. Jennings has been out for a couple weeks now. And I had thought of a few places. I mean, Houston made a ton of sense.
Especially
with
now.
Going down.
Yeah.
And they announced today they lost him for the year to the ACL. But what ends up happening is something we have said many times should happen with these available wide receivers. Deontay Johnson goes to the Ravens for a 5th-round pick.
Finally,
in a move that we all applaud. Yeah.
Finally, it's been 2 or 3 years of this. They need another guy, and there's been guys available, and they just haven't. Maybe they picked up the phone, but they finally get a deal done for a 5th. This guy can do. He's done 1,000 yards. 8 touchdowns. Yeah. That's what this guy's capable of. He just went to the worst quarterback room in the NFL and then goes to one of the best with Lamar Jackson. So if you somehow still have him on fantasy, you kept him, you're probably pretty hopeful there. Because he's a target monster. With the Steelers the year before he got traded was targeted on 23-24% of all throws with the Steelers. He's a volume guy and can get it done. So you're happy if you're a Ravens fan right now.
Well, and this puts them in that 21 personnel situation where he can get that volume, much like the 49ers, where they run the double tight end, 2 wide receiver, 1 single running back with Henry. You can put him and Zay Flowers out there, put Likely and Andrews with Derrick Henry in the backfield, and that play action looks real good.
Yeah.
And also your pre-snap is phenomenal because Deontay Johnson and Zay Flowers behind the line movement is insanely fast. Those are 2 incredibly quick guys. Deontay's built a little bit different in terms of his size, but this makes a great complementary piece to Zay Flowers. Love the move.
for a fifth. That's
for a
it.
fifth. I mean, it's such a good move for a team who really just needs another guy. And if you watch the game this week, we're not going to break that one down necessarily today, but I know we have it in our notes about some of the stuff that happened there. They had 5 big drops in that game.
Yeah.
The Ravens did, and I will say 2 of them were by the defense because there should have been some easy interceptions on Jameis Winston coming in there for the Browns. And the Browns ended up getting that win in the game, and the reason that they lost though was these drops. Likely dropped a touchdown, which would have been a monstrous touchdown, by the way. There
Yeah.
was one guy in front of him for 86 yards.
Yep.
Bro had an easy run. And genuinely, there was another one, 34-yarder by Zay Flowers, kind of uncharacteristic in the back of the end zone that he dropped, which was a clear drop. You saw the Bateman one, which was brutal. It hit him in the face mask.
Dude, it hit him in the face mask, wide open, third down. You got to come up with the ball. You just got to in that moment.
No excuse.
Yeah, so definitely they saw that. They saw what happened on Sunday, and they're like, yeah, let's make this move now because we know what we have and we know what we can be if these kind of things, if we can stop these things and minimize these types of plays or lack thereof.
Yeah, that game literally was lost by the hands of that team.
Yeah.
Quite literally. The Ravens lost that game, not because Lamar Jackson didn't throw the ball well, not because the defense wasn't putting themselves in position. It was literally just guys coming down with the ball in on very makeable scenarios. The Bateman one is completely inexcusable. It literally hit him in the face mask.
Yeah.
And he pointed at himself immediately and said sorry to Jackson, but that doesn't, negate what he just did.
Yeah.
And if you watch that play, by the way, a little bit more breakdown of it, dude, the getaway that Jackson did, stepping up and throwing that strike, it was perfect. Like a picture perfect ball. But the offensive line, that was my takeaway. You go back and watch it. Bateman sucks on that play, and Bateman sucks a lot at catching the football. But if you watch the offensive line, there was nobody anywhere near Lamar Jackson. That he was in the backfield ready to throw for almost 10 seconds. It was incredible. Yeah. But anyway, I digress on that and just say good for Deontay Johnson, good for the Ravens. Love the move, love the aggressiveness before the trade deadline that's coming next week. We'll probably have a lot more to say about trades, but let's get to another one. The Jaguars today trade a left tackle Cam Robinson to the Vikings, also for the 5th. That can become a 4th depending on playing time, and I think postseason playing also factors into that.
Yeah,
but they lost their left tackle. I apologize. I'm going to cough off Mike really quick. Darashaw this last week. Also, I believe his was to a knee as well, right?
I think so. That's what I saw when I was writing this up.
Yeah, his was to a knee as well. So they make the move. They had a rough go last Thursday night against the Rams. We'll get to something else that happened in that game in a few minutes, but they just had a rough go. I mean, Rams had their way, and the particular play that we're going to talk about was, just an obvious mention here. They were teeing off on the offensive tackles in that game.
They're feasting on that line.
It was so bad. I mean, Jameson was just having a great old time sitting on the couch, jumping up and down, giggling like a little schoolgirl while you watch a defensive line that doesn't have Aaron Donald anymore doing Aaron Donald type things to an offensive line. So they needed to make that move. Good for them. Also great value in that 5th round pick. Vikings going all in after losing a pair of games in a row, and they've only lost since they lost their left tackle. And I think that says a lot. They know what they need to do, and they went and did it.
Yeah, and it's clear that the Jags are getting ready to just be done with the season. When you trade a left tackle, the most important position outside of the quarterback, maybe on the offensive side.
Probably.
That's probably what I would say.
I agree.
And they're just we'll just. I think he's a free agent after this year.
They weren't going to re-sign him.
They weren't going to re-sign him. I think
definite.
he's 28, 29, so getting to that 30 age, which is always where teams evaluate. But you don't see offensive linemen get traded a whole lot, and especially left tackle, where that's such a crucial position.
So clearly not this time of year.
Yeah, dude. Trevor Lawrence, I apologize. I'm sorry. You're going to probably die more than you probably already have.
Yeah, pick
So
a body part that you don't want to have at the end of the season and
when you
just
when you
pick
see a
one.
guy come in, just drop down so that way
Yeah.
you don't get injured. So
Yeah. It's
unfortunate
fun.
for the Jaguars and that fan base, but good move for the Vikings.
Yeah. We uh um we have a really incredible play that I mentioned at the
Mm-hmm.
top that we want to get to, but we also have one that Grant's going to talk to us about that might be the worst play
Yeah,
ever
dude.
in the history of football.
So we talk about the Jekyll and Hyde of the NFL. The Jekyll and Hyde of these two plays and these two teams that actually exist in the same division. The New York Giants, obviously, like our favorite team. We are big fans of Daniel Jones. We think the world of him. He's so good at his job. He makes a lot of money to be really bad at his job. Let's be real. So they're lining up for a 2 point conversion. And they do this thing where they have like three or four blockers on the left side, and they have Malik Neighbors behind him. So it's some sort of block screen, moving screen kind of play. Don't hate the play. Like I've seen those types of plays before. Those can work. They kind of had a guy for every guy, so if everybody made the block, it would have happened. But unfortunately, not a single one did their job, and they let Highsmith from the Steelers literally just walk into the backfield because they're all looking in the opposite direction of when the ball snaps. They have no idea when the ball is going to get snapped, and Highsmith is there to absolutely deck Malik Neighbors. Except Daniel Jones also sees that and throws the pass away, so Malik Neighbors doesn't catch it, and Highsmith would have been there to blow the thing up for like a 7 yard loss if he
So
made the catch.
stupid.
Like I don't understand what the blockers are doing. Like Devin Singletary just let him he just took his lunch. Like just let him like, oh yeah, here you go, man. Just come tackle the guy. Like completely like miscommunication, laziness. Like they didn't even try. It was so pathetic. And to me, this is online. Now it's a 2 point play, so you know, it's not like you I don't know. At the same time though, like this is on the level of the Pat McAfee punt to me. The
I was
Pat
going to say.
McAfee embarrassing punt. Like it's just like it's definitely like top three, and those two are at least in those two spots. Like it's so bad, and just the yeah.
Well, it seems like I mean this is it's a college type look, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, because like in the pro world, we just don't do these things because you got too many guys with too big of brains that play in the NFL, and they just
They're
pick this crap
professionals.
apart right in the moment. Yeah, but it's a college look. But usually when they do these looks in college, you have the linemen or blockers, if you will, that are supposed to be on the top end there. They're supposed to be looking forward for their
Yes.
assignment,
Yes.
and the person standing behind the line of scrimmage, in this case, neighbors, is supposed to give the audio cue when the ball is hiked.
Right.
So when he sees the ball
So they can
move,
be
or when he
focused on the guy
sees
in front of them. The blockers can be ready
right,
for their guy.
exactly. So they're the only ones that are supposed to look over. But you got to wonder if just all these guys are not used to being where they are on that side of the field on the far end, that they were just, nervous, or maybe they didn't understand. But really, truly, like it could be that, but I think it was more likely that there's two things that are supposed to happen. One, there's supposed to be a lifted foot by Danny Dimes at some point there, so they get the visual cue or there's a visual signal, and then
Yeah.
they go 1, 2, go. That's
Yeah.
probably what they were waiting for, and the ball got snapped on the visual cue, which might have just been the easy misread of the snapper there, and that screwed up the whole thing. I gotta believe that it's more than that. You can't tell me that Brian Dable sent them out there to do a 2 point conversion and they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I don't think that
yeah,
that
I
was
get
probably it.
that.
But
But
the
it's just the
visual of
most
it did
is
look
so bad.
horrific.
It's on the level of that punt. Like it's just
Oh yeah,
so bad. Um
it's
so yeah.
awful.
Yeah, that was
It's
bad.
awful.
If you haven't
Don't
seen it and
take
you
our
want a good
word on it.
laugh,
Go look it up.
yeah.
It's great, and
Another
you will giggle.
yeah, and another play that you should watch is one of the best plays ever. You get
Oh
one of
my
these
gosh,
every other year, maybe. Like the last one was the Hail Murray, the Kyler Murray, DeAndre
D Hop.
Hopkins.
Yep.
And that was 2 years ago.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
I'm sure
That
most
was
of you have
one
seen it
dude
at this
against
point.
three guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, that one's awesome. But this one,
Yeah,
go for it.
setting the stage on it. Um, the Bears had scored late in the fourth quarter. Rashawn Johnson gets a close in rushing touchdown, and everybody and their mother went, "Well, this game's over."
Right. The
And
Bears
if
had held
you
the Commanders to just field goals the entire game, correct?
the entire game, they got it, and mostly close in.
This
It was
offense
pretty
has been cooking.
disappointing. Yeah, it was pretty disappointing as somebody who was excited to watch Jaden Daniels play on Sunday. I was really pumped that he was playing.
Yeah.
In one sense, didn't love some of the shots that he took. But anyway, so you just figure it's over. I think there was about 50 or less seconds. They've got to score a touchdown. Okay, to
Right.
move all the way down the field. I think they'd used up all their timeouts. No, they had one timeout. Use the other two to kill clock on the Bears, and so the Commanders go in, take a couple of decent shots down the field, get a penalty. Some of those little benefits, and then they get knocked backwards by a holding call, and I went, well, this is over.
Yeah, there's no chance.
And everybody agreed that was watching the game. Everybody agreed that was playing the game.
Yeah.
Including a certain cornerback from Chicago who had to apologize to the entire Bears fan base for the atrocity that he committed while trying to knock the ball down. Because not only did he not knock the ball down, Jaden Daniels drops back, runs around in circles for a while, then pushes forward, uncorks a 67-yard pass to the front of the end zone. Bears defenders go up, ball tips up in the air, and when you're doing the tip drill as a defender, your job is to go to the side or down. You never want the ball to end up behind you. That is not the goal. You got to have that situational awareness of where you're out on the field. They all knew they were in proximity to goal line. Dude goes up, and he didn't get his fingers down in time. His fingers are going straight up. The ball does its job, pushes off his fingers, goes into the hands. A backup tight end, I think his name is Brown or something like that.
Yeah, that's the last
name. Dude gets the ball, easiest catch of his life, by the way.
He didn't have to do it. It literally just landed in his lap.
Fell into his, like he was in the sand lot and just had his hand up. I mean, it was perfect.
Place goes nuts.
Crazy atmosphere. I mean, absolutely electric. And Chicago is just completely stunned. Here, there was going to be the validation of taking Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels for, this team. Everybody had started to second guess that pick, and now they're going to win this game, and that'll just make everybody feel really good about that decision. And also, I keep Chicago right there in the hunt for a division lead. I mean, they're literally could have been right there. And to have this happen is just, I mean, as a fan of neither team, hilarious.
Oh yeah, you just gotta watch a fun play.
Yeah, as a hater of Caleb Williams, and I have no problem saying that. I just not the guy. Said it again and again. Jaden Daniels seems to be that guy. But that was just so funny to me to watch that play. Yeah. I was just sitting there going, no way.
Well,
no way.
Well,
and I said it like 20 times.
You didn't even say the part about the corner. Not only did he fail at his job with the ball, smacking it down to the side, as the play was snapped, did you seen this? Have you seen the video? Yeah, I'm sure everybody has. He's taunting the Commander fans as the play is happening behind him with his back turned. So, they're already at the 20-yard line by the time he turns around and then runs to where the ball gets thrown and then hits it into the tight end's lap. So, dude, what a clown. Straight up clown, dude.
I'll take life most embarrassing moments for $1 million.
Oh, dude.
Holy cow.
You do that afterwards. I don't care. I don't care if it's a Hail Mary, which is a 1% chance that happens. You do it after when you actually have something to stand on.
Children, if you are watching, all of you that think you are good at things, you don't trash talk until it's over. Keep your mouth shut.
Yep.
Until the dub is in hand.
Yes.
Always.
That is always my rule. That's my rule of life.
Always.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back on you so bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between talking trash and just kind of antagonizing along the way.
Yeah.
I tend to kind of jokingly antagonize at times. It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
but it's all in the jest of the game. But dude, like when you are just full on like you guys suck, we won, you lost, and then you get caught not doing your job, and all of a sudden you're national news because you're an idiot and had your back turned to the play. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. Lesson
Yeah.
learned. Wait till it's over and then talk all you want to talk.
Yeah.
Have your fun. But dude, that's a horrible way to learn that lesson.
Yep.
And they take the L and possibly a playoff position. When you think about things like that, these
These
are
are
the
two
games
teams
that
that are
determine playoffs.
these two teams could potentially be trying to get in with 9 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins, whatever. I mean, not eight, but nine,
Yep.
10 wins.
Yep.
And like, if they have the same record, Commanders have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's so bad that you lost the tiebreaker to a conference opponent because of that.
Yep.
And what kills me, they were doing there's a little bit of sports science on this. If he goes up no fingers and just knuckles, he punches it. Great chance, over 96% that he knocks that ball down. I mean, literally all he had to do go knuckles.
Was not do what he did.
Yep. Just if you already had his fingers back, it would have changed the trajectory. If you would have had his fingers down and just taken one for the team and jammed two of them, he would have changed the trajectory correctly and they would have won the game. So many things could have won that game. And the football god said, no, you deserve this. And we all agree. That was awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love it for the Commanders fan base, dude. Just they got rid of the worst owner in sports. And now they're seeing
celebrate all
success.
you want.
Dude, and now they're seeing success. Like, I wonder what that one thing might have been that was keeping this organization down. Weird.
The football gods did not allow them to win because of that owner. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
We have a certain belief system, Grant and I do, about the football gods and how they command the game and all that. And we need to have a discussion with them about what they're doing with the Chiefs. But nonetheless,
right.
There is the hilariousness of what they do in the regular season for certain teams and the way that the football gods seem to honor teams that do the right thing. And love what's happening in Washington. How can you not root for the young squad? How can you not hope for them to make the playoffs? It's just so much fun. And that was the epitome of fun in the NFL. It just doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah. For sure.
Whatever can happen will happen. Stupid stuff that should not happen in the NFL. Let's go back to Thursday night.
You might have forgot about it because there's been some crazy plays. But maybe
what
the
worst. Heck? What?
Dude.
We complain about officiating a lot on this show. I more like to complain from my perspective about the processes that exist within officiating. I've said it many times. Make it all reviewable. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. Like, there's so many dumb rules in this league too. Like, no coaches challenging this too much. Why? Why can't they challenge anything that happens in the field? Because within 2 minutes is when it's extremely important, especially in the end of a game. Why couldn't they challenge it? Why are plays not reviewable at a certain point? Why can they not get something in their ear from New York at every time? Hey, just wait. We're gonna get this right, and they'll get back to you. It's not hard.
They do it all the time throughout the game when it comes to what was it? It was the knee being down, I think, last night. Neighbors caught a ball and was going towards the sideline. Okay. And this is under 2 minutes to go in the game. And he's trying to get out. They ended up having to run 10 seconds off because his knee hit the ground before he got out of bounds with the ball.
Yeah.
And they stopped the game and reviewed that and corrected it. I don't understand what the difference is between stopping the game and reviewing and correcting that and a blatant no call on a face mask in the end zone that caused a safety. Like, that's much worse. Much worse outcome.
No, I don't understand it. And listen, if you're a Rams fan, even Jameson, it's like, do I think that the Vikings were going to march 90 yards down the field, score a touchdown, and then get the 2-point conversion, get that to tie it? Probably not. Probably not. But we deserve to see that. We deserve to see, and that anticipation to build was like, oh, could they do it? that third down call, that fourth down play, right? Where they like, oh, do they get it to keep it alive just a little bit longer? No, we don't see that. We get robbed of that, just the building to that moment of finality. Because the reality is that we got cheated out of a moment, and we got and the players also got shit out of a moment to actually like meaningfully end a game. Like it's so
Yeah.
dumb. It's so dumb. It's so frustrating because the ref was 3 feet away. 3 feet away.
Dude.
3 feet.
Um, I can read the letters of this warning label on this ladder out here in my garage that I'm filming from today.
Bro,
I
hobbits
can
are
read it
taller than
upside
that.
down.
Yeah. Hobbits are taller than 3 feet, dude. Like
I'm
it's a
just
hobbit,
saying.
it's less than a hobbit's length, bro. And you can't get the stinking call right. What are you doing? Where's the accountability? Like, dude, if I suck at my job that bad, I get fired. It's not hard. For real.
I I
Ridiculous.
love that your measuring stick for a yard is a hobbit. Like
That's right.
this
That's right. That's what I'm
fictional
doing.
being.
Yes. Yes.
That's that's the one thing that you can think of that's 3 feet
Yeah.
long.
I don't know
That's
why.
flipping awesome.
I don't know why. But like for real, if I'm that bad at my job, I get fired.
Yes.
Like
And
anybody
honestly,
is.
man, he should be
Anybody is.
suspended for it. He
Like, dude,
should. That guy should miss a week.
dude, and I yeah, everything needs to be reviewable. 100%.
Everything. Review. If you can stop a game and say, hey, his knee barely touched the ground there, we're going to do a 10-second runoff.
For
What
real.
is the harm in saying, hey, that dude ripped his face to the ground? That's a 15-yard penalty. Vikings ball on the 20.
Automatic first.
Let's go.
Yes.
Like, why is that bad? I literally don't understand these blatant misses. And I understand that some people make the argument, well, it's if we do that, then every every blocking, every one-on-one block is reviewable, and we could determine
No,
whether
that's
something
very
was
different.
holding or not on every single play. And
No, that's completely
that's not what
different
we're saying.
because that's
We're literally
a
saying
blatant
personal
penalty.
fouls.
Yes, his neck went this. His head did that.
Yeah, it's
Like,
black and white.
yes, is there penalties every play? Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's holding every time. But when it comes down to these moments, I want clean football. I want the right calls. And I don't care if it adds another 15, 20 seconds to the game. I don't
Yep.
care.
I don't care
care.
if it takes. I don't care if it takes 5 minutes. Do the right thing. We
Get
don't
it
care.
done.
We're already here for 3 hours. What's 5 minutes?
We want more football. Let's be real.
Who cares?
We want more football.
Especially on Sundays and Monday night, and we're good with that.
Yeah.
But I struggled with that incredibly. Jameson even said it. He goes, "Look, it's not the Saints versus Rams bad, but it was really bad
I mean, it's probably the
in
worst
terms
this
of
year.
no calls. Oh, it's
probably
the
the-
worst this year.
Yeah, I think honestly overall, I mean, this is the first time we're 8 weeks in. This is the first time we've actually really addressed reffing. We usually do it once or twice a year. This is the first one really that we've really talked about. And so I think overall, I mean, there has been some moments where we've actually praised the officiating, where they're getting calls in from New York and making sure stuff is right. But that's what makes it even more frustrating is when they're doing some of these right things, but then there's these weird little outlying things where they don't get it right, where it's clear and obvious. And that's what's frustrating.
Absolutely, it is. I want to get to a couple more things that are on the negative end real quick while we're in the down here. What the heck was Anthony Richardson doing?
So
Does he not understand that he plays quarterback? Like,
dude,
you play every play.
You
I
play till
understand that
there's-
he had ran real far, and if you missed it, and I think it's in the second quarter. Dude is running on a scramble, ends up going for a long run.
yeah.
Gets a first down, and then looks at his coach and says, "Hey, I need the 40-year-old guy to go in because I need to take a breath real quick."
Well, I've never heard or seen of that. Ever.
Never.
Not
Never
once.
seen a dude tap out in the second quarter because he was tired. Ever.
Never. Yep. Bro, if you're
And-
tired, run the ball twice.
Seriously, like, what does
Slow
your
the-
conditioning look like, dude? Are you just living in the weight room?
Uh,
Because, like, look, I'm no like peak of, I'm not the peak of whatever physicality of a man, but like, dude, you do need to be able to run for a while. It's football. This is what
Yeah.
you do.
Like
And
especially
by the
like,
way,
You're
You
running
also had a
quarterback.
14-minute break right before that while you're standing on the sideline. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Um,
Run the
but
ball
no,
twice.
he
That's like almost a minute and a half. If you just run it and just wait and let that clock just eat and do it again. That's like a over a minute and a half of break you get right there.
yep.
That should be plenty.
And yeah, the dude basically asks for a playoff and then goes back in. He gets a total of about 70 seconds worth of a break before he has to start moving his feet again. And it just doesn't even seem worth it,
Yeah.
let alone the right thing to do. And this is a guy who's still trying to prove himself. Ends up
He's not
really
earned anything. He hasn't
no,
earned
because
anything.
he went 10 for 34 in this game. He has by far the worst completion percentage of any quarterback in the NFL,
Yeah.
and has since he entered the league last year. We love watching him play, and he's exciting because of the dynamic that his feet provide.
I still think
But
about that week one 70-yard touchdown.
yeah,
It's amazing.
I
But
mean,
then
with
he has
the
these
outside of
moments.
the Hail Mary, like probably play of the year,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely
Absolutely.
other throw of the year.
Yeah. Absolutely. But then
But
we get this
you
with it.
get, hey, I need a playoff. And his team did not reward him for that. And it gets announced today that he has been benched. And Joe Flacco will be starting this week as the Colts continue to try and make a push for a playoff spot in a division where, their biggest opponent, the Houston Texans, just lost Stephon Diggs to a season ending ACL,
Yeah.
and he
Bummer.
got placed on the IR.
Nico Collins is still out. It's Tank Dell. That's
Yeah.
that's it.
And the Colts clearly smelling blood here. Like, listen, we just need to get wins because they lost by 3 points to the Texans in that game. You can't tell me
Yeah.
that Flacco wouldn't have come in and completed at least 11 more passes there,
Which
and
probably could have won you
gone
the game. I mean,
absolutely in a
they only
3 point
lost
game.
by
You would
three. Yeah.
sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So right
I don't
move by
know.
the Colts, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, this is one of those things. Like, obviously, we don't. A lot of quarterbacks were taken that year. You know, I wonder if all those things, those red flags, because he kind of just impressed. Like, he had the most impressive combine like ever as a quarterback. But all of those things, all those red flags were still there. The lack of playing time in college, the recklessness that we continue to see that keeps him off the field, the inaccuracy, like has all the physical traits. If I'm wanting to pick just a prototype, like I'm probably picking Anthony Richardson. Like he's huge, he's fast, he's strong. Like I want that. But it's the stuff that like you can't it doesn't seem like you even coach it out of him. Like he's
It,
inaccurate, like he's reckless. I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean the traits look like Lamar 2.0.
Yeah.
It's what he looks like.
I would
He
love
just
two
doesn't play
Lamars in the
like him.
league. I would love
Yeah,
two Lamars in the league. Are you kidding me? It'd be
it'd be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun. I mean, but the inaccuracy is just there, and this is when you stereotype running quarterbacks, if you will, this is what they look like.
And these are
This is the norm. You
yeah.
get all excited and you see all this potential, and man, he could do both things. And da 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 da. Cam Newton became this later in his career, where he just couldn't complete passes all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
He was never like the most dynamic passer or anything. I think we've gone over this before, but he had 1 4,000-yard season. So that was not necessarily his
And
MO,
just the
but
longevity. You don't
you don't
last.
get it.
You
Yeah,
don't
right
last.
now Lamar seems to be bucking all trends.
Sure. I want it.
All of
I
them.
want him to. Like I love Lamar. He's one of the most fun players to watch. But you think of like the guys that stick around, the Drew Brees, the Philip Rivers, the Tom Brady's.
Pocket
They're
passers.
the
They
guys
run
who
the
are
system well.
comfortable. They're comfortable. They throw on time, and they can make all the throws. It's not
Yep.
about the runs. It's about the throws. Um.
Yeah, and
So
and really the model right now in the game is guys that get yards, that get yards because they make yards.
yeah.
So if you look at the Josh Allen is also kind of the greatest example of that, where he has the most success by making yards for himself. Big guy, can move when he wants to, but he's definitely looking for the throw first. But he gets downfield. Currently, I think it's Lamar, then Josh Allen, then Brock Purdy at 3 for rushing yards amongst quarterbacks in the league, and they're Brock Purdy is another guy that gets down the field with his legs, gets you first downs on third down. Mahomes is that exact type of quarterback, but clearly 90% of the time wants to throw the ball and not run. But it's guys that get yards because they make yards with their legs,
Right.
not necessarily the design runs. We've seen how poorly that goes. The entire NFL audience took its breath collectively on Sunday when Tua took off from the pocket and finally slid correctly.
Good job, buddy.
You did it one time. Yay. But
until you don't.
But those are the guys that we typically see, and you look at AR and he's got designed runs. He looks to run and abandon that pocket too often. Also just takes unnecessary risks when he's throwing the ball that you don't love, and throws behind receivers a lot. So he's just got a lot to figure out. In the meantime, Air Flacco is back in, and everybody that has Downs and Pittman, even Taylor is going to be real excited about Joe Flacco playing some football, because it's going to be real nice for fantasy. And if you got him, start him. I'm actually bigger on Downs right now than I am Pittman. Downs has a really good connection with Flacco that you have noticed over the past few weeks. This last week, Downs also got a few yards from AR and ended up getting, I think, 20 even in the half-point leagues. But Downs should get the big bump there. Pittman will be steady, probably be in that 13 to 14 range, get a touchdown here and there, or get the yards, in catches. But I think Downs is actually going to get the bigger overall bump, and we'll have some of those blow-up games. So add him if you can, trade for him if you must. But those guys are going to do real well. Flacco does nothing but chuck the ball. Also, don't forget his name now. Oh, Cleveland. Darn it. I wanted to give that recommendation. I'll try and look that up before we're done with the show.
Jameis Winston?
Because Jameis Winston is playing football again, and we are going to mention it. We might as well mention it now. Got that win, like we said, over the Rams. Jameis Winston throws ball downfield
all the time.
I need to look up that
receiver. Dude, I'm telling you, Jameis Winston has become like one of my favorite characters. Like,
he's hilarious.
Dude, he is awesome. Did you see the quote? No, I'm pulling up right now. You talking about the sky's the limit one? That one?
No, the Eminem one.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, he quoted Eminem.
No, I did not see that. The one that I have here that I think is just hilarious is, you can't say the sky's the limit when people are on the moon. Like what? Like what? Like, it sounds like inspirational, but also I'm like, what is this actually mean?
Nobody's been on the moon
since the 60s.
Literally, 55 years, bro.
Bro, my phone is more powerful than the computer they used to send people to the moon.
My grandpa plugged in the wires and had the team that literally did that in the lunar landing module. You can look at it in the Air and Space Museum. His name's Joseph Novak.
Dude, he also has a quote like, if you no joke, this is I think my favorite quote. He said, if you're born around water, you have a different way of life. That's no joke, his quote. What? Why are those the things ruminating in his head? Like, dude, hey, I'm on this podcast. I just got to say this real quick. If you're born around water, then you have a different way of life. Like, dude, he's awesome. I love him. Obviously the Eat the W thing was great. He's awesome.
Cedric Tillman. That's the receiver you want to go get. 7 catches on Sunday for 99 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Ravens. Weirdly, the Ravens, as good as they've been playing, by the way, number 1 most points given up to wide receivers.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that either. I was looking up some stuff this week and was like, oh, no, I guess they played some high-scoring games. Okay, all right, makes sense. They do a good job against tight ends. They got a really good linebacking crew. That secondary at times on the corner end of things has been a little suspect, and they've dealt with a couple injuries there. That's another spot I wouldn't be shocked that they make a trade for, and that is a little more common trade this time of year, going after that. Now you're making me want to go look up that other one. But anyway, Browns did get a dub. They're going to be chucking the ball around. Team that did not get a win this week, Grant. Speaking of the Jekyll and Hyde nature, as I did earlier in the NFL, I just got to drop it for you. This was the downside for your team.
Yep.
Also, what happened to your fan base on Sunday? Like
Dude,
they were out of it real quick.
I don't know. So thankfully, I had to work like all day Sunday, so I didn't get to watch this game. So God knew that I needed to like not watch this game. Um, but Geno Smith said that it felt like an away game, and that is really disappointing because the 12th man seems to be just like not a thing anymore. And if you look at their records, like at home, 2012 to 20 like 16, 17, 18, like it was the one of the like toughest places to play, and that edge is just gone. If you're a season ticket holder and you're a Seahawks fan watching this, you should be ashamed of yourself for selling your tickets to Bills fans and opposing teams. Like you bought those, show up for your team, bro. Don't be selling them to all these posers and these clowns that are repping different colors than the blue and green. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah, I was really upset about that when Geno Smith said that it felt like a road game. I've never heard in my time of being a Seahawks fan heard any player say anything about the fan base in that way or the home field advantage in that way. So I'm kind of glad that Gino called it out, but yeah, it was kind of an embarrassing game. A lot of missed opportunities, really bad execution. Connor Williams, our center, literally cost us 14 points. Snap over the head of Geno Smith.
That was pretty bad.
Killed a drive. And then the next drive, we get the ball at the 3, and he steps on Geno's foot on a 4th down play at the 2. Like, he cost us 14 points, and we had to settle for we got 3 points out of that in those 2 plays. Maybe it goes differently if we get those 14. I mean, it's at least 31-24 that way.
Bit of swing, yeah.
So
you're playing something at the end of the game potentially. So yeah.
So that was just embarrassing. Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde of this team. I don't know. Obviously I was hoping for a competitive game, and they didn't get that. So disappointed for sure. But
well, here, let me make you feel a little better. Okay, we'll do one more quick round on Jameis Winston here.
My boy. Okay.
There's a white boy from Detroit that I really admire named Eminem, Winston said, because people don't know who Eminem is and they know who Jameis Winston is.
Right.
He said, "You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity lasts once in a lifetime." He missed it by one word.
He did. But nonetheless, I love you. I love you.
That's what he said to CBS after the game.
I
not on a podcast. He
I don't understand.
Right into that camera, and he quoted Eminem and informed the world of who Eminem was. We needed to be reminded.
Also, he's had more than one shot, by the way.
You're not wrong. I believe this is shot number 3.
But he's still here, and he's still swinging, and I love you, Jameis. If I was ever to buy another jersey for a different team, it'd be you. I love you.
Ooh. Right. Man, that's a good one. I mean, I probably would have bought Polamalu.
Yeah.
That would have been me. I mean, it's hard not to be. I'm a huge fan of TJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Steelers,
yeah.
Gosh, there's a few that I could take.
Man,
what's another one?
I mean, I don't know if I actually could.
You probably couldn't.
Oh, Julio Jones. That's in kind of my era of where I started to love football was like when he was starting. So like 2011, 2012. Julio Jones would be one.
See, I can do retro jerseys, so there's a lot of guys that I would be like super. I mean, I'd love to have a Barry Sanders jersey.
Oh, yes, that's it.
Yep.
Barry Sanders.
That'd be way up there for me. That'd probably just be the one I do right away.
Yeah. I do Ed Reed. I love Ed Reed.
Okay. I don't think I could do a Ravens jersey. My team lost the Super Bowl to that.
I've said it before. I kind of like the Ravens. Like they may be my team if I wasn't the Seahawks. Like I kind of root for the Ravens in any other game. So
like if you were a true like Gen Z personality, where you could go with that flow, you could go with the vibe that you were feeling that year.
Yeah.
Jump ship.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
No loyalty. Just I just woke up today and I'm about this vibe.
Are you saying I have no loyalty?
No, I'm saying Gen Z.
Oh,
Gen Z inherently does not have that.
Bro, it's so odd seeing people with like multiple jerseys from different teams. Like
I don't understand that at all.
Like Bro, those things are like $150. Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Like unless it's like
I,
a legend, you know?
okay, this actually happened today, and then we'll move on. But like, I had a guy online in one of my fantasy football things who made this post. He's in one of my fantasy football groups that I help moderate.
Hmm.
Makes this post about something about the Chiefs fans have only been fans since like 2015. It's the same bandwagony type
Yeah.
post that people make, and there's like a meme attached to it, and it's making fun of just bandwagon fans. That's
Yeah.
what the content was about. Some dude comments in there and goes, he's like, people who only root for one team their entire lifetime are pathetic. And he
What?
just tries to justify bandwagon fans. And he's like, but I also think that people who hate on people who root for one team for more root for more than one team over the course of their lifetime are pathetic. And and I'm like, I don't think this guy realizes that that meme was making fun of him. You are the
Yeah,
meme. And he
absolutely.
did not. And so I said that in there. And I was like, hey, I don't think you realize this, man, but you are the meme. And then, like, 10 minutes later, my comment has about 75 likes in 10 minutes. No
Yeah,
joke.
dude.
And then this dude is defending himself, not to me, all the other people who attacked him after I wrote that. And it
Dude.
just got to this ridiculous amount where I had to like unfollow the string because it was getting so much. Uh, but yeah, if you're one of those people who just jump ship on your team because they suck, you
I
are
have no
awful.
respect. No respect
No
for you.
respect. And we can't talk about sports. Like, I
Yeah.
get being disappointed. I don't understand what it's like to be a Jaguars fan. I have no idea.
Hmm.
And have no history and no culture attached to your team. I don't know what that's like.
But
But
you've
I can tell
also,
you,
yeah, you've experienced some rough years.
I haven't experienced any, I've not experienced a Super Bowl win since I was 10 years old. Okay. I
Yeah.
am 30 years into this, and I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't understand. You know, my favorite baseball team. I just got done watching the Red Sox, the comeback, that's out on Netflix. My
Mm.
baseball team didn't win a World Series for 86 years. My
Yeah.
entire life,
Yeah.
until I was an adult, hadn't done much else than, I mean, they'd made the ALCS. I shouldn't like say they did nothing, and they did it a couple times, but like they hadn't won a World Series, and they broke the curse, right around the time that I was turning 20. I think it was the same week. Yeah, it was the same week of my 20th birthday,
Yeah.
and it was super awesome. And I remember everything about it. Was so excited. But like, dude, you stick with your team, and that's just weak
Yeah.
sauce. If you haven't been a Chiefs fan since 2015, congratulations. Your team still hasn't lost this year. They beat the Raiders this week. Who cares? Everybody knew that was going to
7
happen.
0. Only reason we're
Yay.
talking about it. They're undefeated.
And we're moving on. That was great. I love all that Chiefs talk that we did. Uh, Lastly, just two quick things before we get into our pick'em today. Uh, I did get to enjoy my birthday. We had Grant and I had an awesome time. He got to hear people make fun of me
Hmm.
on
It's great.
Saturday at my surprise party that my wife threw. It was awesome. We had a really good time. But then I got to go with him and go watch the Ducks absolutely murder Illinois.
Yep.
That
Over
was
by
not much of
halftime.
a game. Yeah, we were done. That was the
Yep.
longest we've ever waited for food ever.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It
It
was
was
really long.
brutal. But I will say the food was
Uh,
good. I enjoyed mine. It was
you
good.
enjoyed yours. I'm
Yeah.
glad you did.
Yeah.
But mine not so much. They forgot the sauce pretty much.
Yikes.
Then Sunday though, go have a good day with the fam. Do the get to go to church, do all the things. Got to see my boss. Hadn't seen him in a month, and that was really cool. And then Sunday afternoon, the 49ers did my favorite 49er thing that they could do outside of winning a Super Bowl, and they made the Cowboys lose a football game, and that made my heart happy. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that gift to me on a significant birthday in my life of them
Hmm.
beating the Cowboys in my honor.
They
Really
knew they're
appreciated
like,
that.
we know this guy in Oregon is a big
Yeah,
fan, and
big
so
fan.
we're gonna win because of him.
Milestone birthday.
Yeah.
Got to get one for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
Uh,
it's a bittersweet one for me because obviously I want your team to lose because my team lost. So try not to,
yeah, it's fair.
but I'm like, but at the same time, I still gotta watch the Cowboys lose.
Yeah,
So it's not nothing.
I understand that
Yeah,
one.
it's not nothing. Like I don't
It's
know what I'd pick, but honestly, like both, I honestly probably was happy with both. Either one, flip the coin. I wouldn't have cared.
you know,
Cowboys lose.
you were gonna be happy one way or the other.
Yeah,
That was a win
yeah,
for you.
yeah. That was my win of the
49ers
week.
go
Cowboys lost.
40,
Not the Niners won. The Cowboys lost.
yeah. 49ers do go into the bye week forward for on a little bit of an up there. Got a win they needed to get for sure. They have some reserves coming back. Looks like they should have their kicker back. Looks like they should have Jawan Jennings back. But most importantly,
I was not doing this for your kicker and Jawan Jennings. It was for CMC.
CMC is going to be back after the bye week. 49ers will be taking on the Buccaneers in a little less than 2 weeks. And I cannot wait for Christian McCaffrey to come play some football. And
I can't wait
to execute in the red zone.
I can't wait because that league where I drafted number 1 is on the struggle bus.
Yeah, amen to that.
So that's why I'm excited.
Yeah, pumped. Yeah. I'm pumped to see him back on the field. Should be a rejuvenated offense. That'll be awesome. We'll get to more of that next week when we know a little bit more.
I do want to say this.
Should be rolling that out next week.
I do want to say this. I said this to you, and I'll say it now because this might be the last time that I get to talk about this. 3 years out of the like 7 or 8 that I've done fantasy football, I have had the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Every one of those years, it was been when Christian McCaffrey has been the undisputed number 1 pick. Undisputed number 1 pick. Yeah. And those last 2 years in Carolina were them. So I got him back-to-back years. He got injured and was out like played like I think 4 combined games.
I remember, and you told me.
And then I told you
it happened the second time.
And then
I said, never do it again.
I said I was with you right the week before the season started. I was like, if I get the number 1 pick, I don't know if I can draft him because of the 2 years of this nonsense. And then what happens? He goes and gets double Achilles tendonitis or whatever the crud, something I'd never heard of before. And of course, I get suckered in. I drink the Kool-Aid, and I drafted him. So that's my final time I'll complain about it. Hopefully, this is the end of the time. But also, I hope I never get the number 1 pick ever again. Because
amen to that.
Before one, also, I don't think it's a good pick anyway. But on top of that, I'll get suckered into someone like Christian McCaffrey for like a 4th or 5th time, and he'll get some other made up injury. I don't know. I
firmly believe this in fantasy football. Number 1 pick is a death sentence.
Yeah, dude,
it is.
Be middle.
Death sentence.
7. Like if you're in like a 10-man, 6 to like 5 to 7. That's where I like to be.
Absolutely. That's the honey hole right there.
Yep. You're never too far away.
Absolutely.
Never far away from your pick.
But I genuinely want to be anywhere from 5 back. I have zero desire to be 1 through 4. You don't build a team that way. Yep. Because you lose the quality 2nd round pick.
Yep. You lose that, and then really also there's an element of like letting the other people like decide for you. Like when your options I feel like are narrowed, at least in my opinion, I feel like I can make a better decision. When I've got a million options in front of me, I can get in my head way too much. But if it's been narrowed for me, I feel much more confident in my decisions.
Oh, I love people screwing up like before it gets to me. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I love people like I mean I drafted Josh Allen. I had the 10 and 11 this year, so I had the back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
I drafted Josh Allen with my 4th pick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you doofuses, what are you doing?
Dude.
Do not let me have him. All he does is play in football games and put up big numbers. And right now, I did actually get a loss this week because I accidentally didn't. I started Higgins, and I had Downs on my bench. I didn't realize that Higgins was out. I was busy Sunday morning, just missed it right before 10 o'clock, and I saw it about 20 minutes, I think, after 10, and went, oh, no. Yeah. But I was going to start Downs. But
I had
first place still.
I had the 7th pick, and the morons let me get Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
At 7.
Let people do dumb people things. Let it happen, and just take that. If you ever get to bid on your spot, and people are angling for 1, let them take it. 2, let them take it. 3, let them take it. 4, let them have it. The 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, even the 9th pick, I will take and not bid anything. In those leagues where you got to do it, like I love picking there and letting everybody else screw up the draft. It's a great time.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the last thing on our notes
Yeah.
there. Good for them. Let's move down to pick 'em, man, because we got a toilet bowl to get to,
Yeah.
and a little bit of going on in the NFC West division opponent game, rivalry game. Couple of great rivalry games here. Let's do it.
Yeah. So first one, we're doing our toilet bowl. I'll be honest, this toilet bowl is not in here as a joke. It's because there are some bad ones.
Yeah,
Like
there's
there's
this
some
week
ones that I'm like,
sucks.
yeah. There's some of them I'm like, bro, no, we're all gonna pick the same. So
If you got other things to do this week, it's fine. We understand.
yeah, yeah. If you want to take a week off, if you want to have your own bye week, this would be a good week to do it. Um,
Yeah.
but so the first game we have is Patriots at the Titans. These teams are vying for that number one pick. It seems like that's what they're. It's the first one to get the first pick. So Matt, who are you taking? Patriots at Titans.
Not much of a hot take. Titans are the worst team in football. And for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going Pats. And I like it at 21-14 because I might not 21-13 because I don't think the Titans can score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's fair.
They suck.
Yeah, they're not very good. I'm going next. I am gonna go. I don't think I can say it in my every fiber of my being can say. I think the Titans should win. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Patriots with this one. If you're a fan of one of these teams, I am sorry. Hopefully your college team does better. Whatever that is. So next up we got Jameson. Jameson also is picking the Patriots in this one. We will get Mike's picks later. And so then going down to our next game, we've got Cowboys at Falcons. This should be a good one. Both teams kind of, again, still like they're okay to borderline not. So Jameson is taking the home team. He has taken the Falcons with this one. Now it is up to me. I think I'm going to pick the Cowboys, not because I believe that they're a good team, but I think they desperately are terrible. And I think honestly, this team is kind of, in terms of talent wise, I think they're fairly even. Um, and so I'm going to take the Cowboys. Matt, how about you?
Um. Okay, so my deciding factor is actually Micah Parsons. He
Okay.
is supposed to be. He's on a 4 to 6 week timeline. This last week was week 4, so he could be coming back this week.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about this last week, and I didn't end up having to use it because DK did not play.
Right.
So I went ahead and took the Bills, but wanted to switch if. I'm going to use it here as well.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Falcons, but if Micah Parsons plays, I will switch to the Cowboys.
Gotcha. Okay. That's fair. That is fair. So then keeping on our snake, we've got another not good game. So again, this is a toilet bowl. We've got the Saints at the Panthers. Some bottom of the barrel dregs of the NFC right here.
Dear Lord. You said earlier that I'm trying to remember who you said had the worst quarterback room in the NFL.
Panthers.
Saints currently
They might.
also.
We got the two worst quarterback rooms facing off against each other. Bryce Young is going to play, I believe. Yes, he may
Okay,
return
then I'm
this
taking
week.
the Saints. If that's it, then I'm taking the Saints. Doesn't even matter. And Saints do have a good defense, so
Yeah.
and honestly, I may see what leagues that is available in.
Yeah. I'm taking the Saints as well. I'll take any team against Bryce Young at this point.
Yes.
Bro has shown nothing. Jameson has also taken the Saints as our
Jeez,
as our
guys.
Saints hater. You know, that is happening. He's picking them. And then next game we have, this is a good one. We got Lions at the Packers. Jameson is taking the Lions. Maybe the best team in the NFC. I
Maybe.
totally get it. I mean, yeah, they are.
We need to know something though.
Which is,
Love playing?
oh, I didn't even know. Did he get injured?
He had a groin injury and
Oh,
he
he
did not
left.
finish the game.
Oh, you're right. Says
I'm
that he
Googling.
avoids serious groin injury. Has a
Has
chance to
shot to
play.
play.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, man, I don't want to use my injury pick here.
You only got one, bro.
We're playing at
I guess.
what are you
Oh,
taking? What
I'm
are you
going.
taking?
I'm going. I forgot.
Sorry.
This feels like a.
Cuz
I'm swing. I'm. By the way, I'm still up by one pick. By the way,
oh yeah. Hey,
so it's
if
20.
you guys are if you're listeners and you're betters, I don't know why you're not just picking straight up winners with us.
I'm
Grant and
29 and
I have
11, and Matt is
Grant and I have
28 and 12.
literally missed what? One game?
You and I were perfect this
We've
week.
had two perfect weeks. You and I have, and we both missed one. I think in our last 3 weeks,
I've missed one
we
or
are
two.
14 and 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So,
we're killing.
yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna just try. Oh, my doc's going nuts. I think I'm gonna go Packers. I think I am.
Wow.
I this is a spiritual zag. Like this is like I just feel like the Packers might win this one. I don't know. Like the Lions have
uh
been so good. Not taking anything away from them, but
they're just due for a week off, huh?
I it's just yeah, that's just what I'm feeling, man.
By the way, you see Jameson Williams has a warrant out on him.
What a clown.
Yeah,
Dave.
he
Like
is.
multiple guns in his car or something.
Uh, how? Ser you
I,
haven't seen the news?
that's what I thought I had seen. Yeah, something like that,
Okay,
right?
I was just saying that's literally what it's for.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah. I
okay.
I
I thought
saw
you
it
were just
like I
pulling that out
literally
of thin air, and I was like, "Whoa,
no. I kind of like saw it as I was
whoa, that's
scrolling, didn't really
creepy."
look. But yeah, wasn't right.
Also, that was either a gross generalization or you got an eight ball that doesn't work for you, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is a magic eight ball doing some
14 and
genius
1 the last
maneuvering
two
right
weeks.
there.
Last 3 weeks. That's what it is. All right, Matt, who you got?
Okay. I I I don't like your gut. I think your gut tells you dumb things. I'm
Bro,
taking the Lions.
I've got a game. I'm currently leading.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You've been using logic and like science and wisdom all this time. Like I honestly, you have
Okay.
not done normal Grant things when it comes to pick 'em.
Okay.
All year long, you have been like, this is what the math is telling me.
Um,
And this is when you make zags,
they
that's
come
not
to
your thing.
First of all, I want to just sit on a moment that you just said that I use science, wisdom, and math, which I don't
Yeah,
know if that's ever been said with me once in my
ever.
life.
Yeah,
So
never probably.
I just want
That's
that
what I'm
to
saying though.
sit
You've
for a
been
second.
bucking your trend.
But there's been some I've swung. That's why I'm up one at least, because I like would pick the Seahawks and then that Falcons one.
You
And
and I have picked almost identical, obviously, because we went 5-0 together twice.
right. I just the Packers take the ball away. They think they still lead the league in takeaways. And the Lions don't. So one of those has got to give.
Yeah, but the Lions also have a quarterback who's playing near perfect football.
That's true.
And I understand that of the two things that are more likely to go the way that you just suggested, being the Packers doing takeaways and Jared Goff continuing to play perfect football, I think that the Packers getting a few takeaways is more likely.
Yeah.
I think that the
Maybe
Lions
not from
offense
Goff,
just
but
is
yeah.
a machine.
But
I just
okay.
that's
All
what
right.
it is.
So
Okay.
then we got this last one. Game 5, NFC West showdown. Two
Don't
teams,
like this one either.
four losses. I don't either. It's the
Don't like it.
Rams at the Seahawks.
Don't like it at all. I have a question for you.
What?
Is DK freaking playing?
Let me look. I don't know. Again,
Son of a gun, dude. Why
Bro,
are you picking all these injury games? All the key
because the
impact
other ones
players.
suck. The other games are trash.
That's true. I looked at the schedule. It's pretty bad.
Oh,
A lot of bye weeks this week that of competitive teams. That's why. I just yeah, this is and people can hate on this all they want. You can be like, "Hey, there's injured players every week." Yes, and Injuries literally decide games all the stinking time. That's why I'm asking the questions. Like,
So it says Mike McDonald said today, looking optimistic. He hasn't practiced yet, so let's let him practice, see how he feels before we start making judgments on the week. But we're
all right.
optimistic for this week.
So DNP Tuesday. But you guys probably don't start your week till Wednesday because it's a home game. You're on back-to-back home games, so you wouldn't have anything on Tuesday anyway. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just gonna go with the healthy team. I'm taking the Rams.
That's a hilarious sentence to say. Since this entire year they haven't been.
But yeah, I mean, Cooper and Booker are playing.
Yeah.
So that's all that needs to happen for those guys to be successful. You get them all out there with that guy slinging it. It is what it is.
Yep. The Rams on the Seahawks. The 49ers on the Seahawks. At this point. But the thing I've always said, death taxes in the Seahawks losing to the Rams. No matter what the teams are, no matter how healthy or unhealthy, how trash, or if this team won a Super Bowl like the Seahawks did, they would lose to the 8-8 Jeff Fisher Rams team. So I'm taking the Rams.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were gonna set it up and go go Homer. I really did.
No, Seahawks, prove me wrong, dude. You are like the little brother in the division. So prove me wrong, and I'll gladly take a loss here. Gladly take a loss. And Jameson, I'm gonna guess. Let me look my text, and he takes the Rams as well.
Yeah, he took the Rams. Yeah,
Rams as well.
He's excited.
Yeah, I'm sure
that's a hard pick for him.
Well, I don't think so. I'm using math, science, and logic right here. Rams.
You saved it for that pick?
Yeah, I'll save it for that pick. So
listen to how you sound right now. This is usually
jaded.
when we come back the next week, and I remind you of what you said, and I'm like, remember?
No,
you're like,
I'm going to stand here at 5-0 again. I hope not. I want to be 4-1. I want those guys to win.
Just listen to yourself. This is the exact tone that you take every time this goes bad for you.
No.
Listen, you can edit this doc, and I will try and remember most of this, or forget most of this conversation.
That's
I will
true.
not remember.
I do wield the key. I have the Infinity Stones for this thing.
Yes.
So
you can edit it anytime.
Just
all right.
Yeah.
Well, just so you guys all know, Grant is dumb and is going to do dumb Grant things this weekend, but football is going to continue in Week 8. We're excited for it.
Yes.
If you're a college football fan, you can watch our Oregon Ducks stomp Michigan this week over there in Ann Arbor. Like, I'm honestly, I don't even know how much that game we get to watch. I got a work thing on Saturday. Not that worried about it. I know that's dangerous. I just knocked on wood. But going into this week, this is a lot of garbage time, but this is get healthy time, everybody. This is when you do it. It's mid-season, but watch for who comes off injury reports this week, and then watch for the big thing happening. This is it. It is trade deadline week. There are tons of movers and shakers. Who's going to be the buyer? I am waiting to see who's going to buy this week massively. Can you pick up a receiver for a 4th or a 5th rounder? Definitely that's already there in terms of value. Who's going to try and make the big move, do the big splash? There's going to be a defensive end or two that gets moved this week. There's going to be key pieces moving around from one competitor to the other. Hopefully, for the love of God, nobody gives the Chiefs anything else, so we don't have to watch them in the Super Bowl again. But what's going to happen, it's all going to center around wins and losses this week. So your team needs to be healthy before their game this week so that your team can be buyers and do what the Ravens just did, do what the Chiefs just did, make that move, get that finality, and put yourselves in a position to get that 10, 11, and 12th win so you can take a division and push for a number 1 seed. This is when it all happens, is right now. So be pumped for Week 9 as we get into it, and we'll see you on the backside of it and break it all down next week. And hopefully, we all just might get to enjoy ourselves all weekend long with an incredible week of NFL games. We'll see you then.
Peace.